Welcome to the Daily Rundown, everyone, and happy Friday. My name is Roxanne. I'm the executive producer here at WDTV. With me back on the desk is Zach.
I
Zach,
just realized we're matching again, by the way.
I know.
I just wanted to state that.
Yes, it's
This
every
is
single
unbelievable.
day.
We have to stop.
Or maybe we should just have a schedule of like, okay, Mondays you wear blue, I'll wear green, Tuesdays, so that we never match again.
You'll frantically be texting me at like 8 a.m. Be like, hey,
What are you
make sure
wearing?
you wear this.
Yes.
Make sure you wear this. I'm wearing this. Make sure you wear the right color. No.
Oh gosh. Well, maybe we should just match every single day. So
No,
it's not
it's
weird
gone too
anymore.
far. The accidental matching has gone too far.
I think that it's just going to keep happening.
Yeah, it will.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
I think
it
we
will.
kind of match like at least one day a week now.
I think we're on a pace for like once a week right now.
Yeah.
But
well, that's just because we're so in sync
Yeah.
as co-hosts of the Daily Rundown.
is Lacey wearing? No, Lacey's wearing like white or gray, I think, today, if I remember right.
Yeah, I can't really remember.
I think
Although
she's wearing
black,
gray.
I feel like is not like a unusual color
Well,
to match
no.
with someone.
No.
But the days that we have like the blue or the bright red or whatever it was.
The day we wore all three wore maroon, that was something.
Yes.
Like,
So black is not as strange, I think, but the red was definitely like,
Yeah.
oh, we're all actually have one brain cell, I guess, that we share. So we'll see. Take your bets on what day we're gonna match next week and what color we're gonna wear.
let us know in the YouTube comments.
Right. Okay. Well, let's get into your daily rundown today. So we'll go through a couple of your top headlines. And then we'll tell you more about what our reporters are working on. And the First Foursome has some exciting things that they're doing today.
Yes.
So we'll tell you more
Stay
about
tuned for
that,
that.
too. Okay, so first up, an arrest out of Clarksburg. A Clarksburg man is now facing charges in, I guess it was Taylor County, that the arrest actually happened. After police say that he thought he was messaging a 14-year-old on Snapchat. So the Taylor County Sheriff's Office say that 20-year-old Travis Grant Jr., who's seen on your screen now, has been charged with soliciting a minor via a computer. The situation began when Grafton police responded to a Walnut Street apartment for an alleged sexual assault. On the scene, deputies spoke with two girls who set up a fake Snapchat account pretending to be 14 years old while speaking with Grant. So the two girls were communicating with Grant through this Snapchat account where they were pretending to be 14 years old.
And Grant was under the impression that they were 14
Right.
years old, so it's a bit of a confusing case.
Yes. After looking at the screenshots, deputies confirmed that Grant believed the girl was 14 based on her profile and messages, but that he still asked for explicit material, and that's where the charges soliciting a minor via computer came from. He's now held at the Tiger Valley Regional Jail. His bond is set at $20,000. A little bit of a confusing case there because
Yeah.
it wasn't actually a 14-year-old he was messaging. It was two other girls who, which we don't know the ages of.
Yeah, we don't know anything about them. But
The females, I guess, who were communicating with him, but he is still charged with soliciting a minor because he believed that the person he was communicating with was 14 years old.
yeah.
Moving on now to an arrest around the region, but kind of not a similar situation, but it is also a soliciting a minor charge,
Yeah,
Zach.
similar charge, similar arrest. This one's a Summersville man. He was arrested after soliciting a minor at the West Virginia State Fair. He offered to trade Fortnite V-Bucks in exchange for nude photos. So this is 22-year-old Adam Ham. He's charged with soliciting a minor via computer as well, same charge as our previous one. According to an announcement by Greenbrier Sheriff Bart Baker, Ham met the victim at the 2025 West Virginia State Fair, so last year. And during this year, he allegedly followed up with text messages and online communications with the victim. An investigation revealed that he discussed requests for photos, and he offered gaming-related items, as the sheriff's department called them, including Fortnite V-Bucks and Battle Pass purchases. Officials say Ham was also interested in meeting the victim once again at this year's state fair in 2026. The officials say as well the investigation is ongoing, and he's being held at Southern Regional Jail. His bond is at $50,000.
Yes. So again, it seems like he first made contact with the victim last year, and that he was hoping that relationship would continue into this year's.
And I believe the state fair is currently going
on right now,
So
right.
yeah.
Moving on to some other kind of statewide news here. So Governor Morrissey has announced over $1 million in funding to help develop the program of all-inclusive care for the elderly. And this is kind of an interesting story today because it's, National Elderly Day or something like that.
I'm not sure. I
It
didn't hear
has to do
about
with
it.
our word on the street, which is kind of similar.
Okay.
But I guess it makes sense because it's like a national
Yeah.
elderly or national grandparents day, something like that.
That's neat. It all kind of
So
circles back. Yeah.
yeah, so it's just interesting that this funding got announced today.
Yeah. Maybe he did that on purpose. You never know.
Right. Officials say that this program, otherwise known as PACE, is introducing an all-in-one care model. It would coordinate medical care and daily support to help older West Virginians with serious health challenges stay safe in their homes. Under this initiative, the funding can help local organizations launch and run comprehensive networks to expand access to community-based care. Officials also believe that this funding will allow for the expansion of daytime health and activity centers. These centers will offer what they said in the press release. They'll offer a form-structured environment where older residents can access clinical care and daily support in one place. Services at the centers include professional nursing care, help with managing medications, and coordinating doctor visits and social activities. So this is, again, $1 million in funding. So it's both to help support the existing care facilities and I think maybe to help expand those and create new ones. And then for other initiatives having to do with elderly individuals in the Mountain State.
Yeah, that's great. To answer your question, though, I wanted to say this real quick. It is National Senior Citizens Day. I looked it up on my phone here. The official day is National Senior Citizens Day. So
yeah,
I feel like it was probably
related
fitting.
to this funding. Yeah.
But back to the story at hand, this is something that's a little close to me because my grandma is currently in a nursing home. So I'm sure this might apply to that. I'm not exactly sure the details there, but it seems like it might. So good to see that expansion for people who need it in the Mountain State.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of older care facilities in kind of in the local area, actually.
Yeah.
And it's not clear yet what facilities may get funding since this was just announced today.
Yeah.
So
not sure where it's going to be allocated, but
right.
It seems like it'll make a difference.
Yes, in general, across the Mountain State, it'll be allocated probably where it's needed most with these care facilities. Moving on now, Zach, if you want to tell us about what our reporters are working on today.
Yeah, sure. So Nick is in Doddridge County. He is learning more about Doddridge County schools. They're having a lot of recent success. In fact, Doddridge County Schools is one of the top schools in our area right now, believe it or not. We saw a ranking, an assessment last week. Was that last week, I believe? We saw an assessment about schools, and Doddridge County, it was recent, within this month, where Doddridge County Schools was ranked second in terms of proficiency in multiple subjects, like math, science, and they were only behind Monongalia County. I mean, that's pretty crazy for Doddridge County, a small community out there. So they are just one of two districts as well that's in West Virginia, the entire state, that saw an increase in enrollment. Nick is sitting down with Doddridge County Schools Superintendent Dr. Adam Cheeseman about what the system is doing to increase their success. So we're going to learn more about maybe the secret sauce at what's happening in Doddridge County that's helping the students succeed so much.
Yeah, I know Lacey, our news director, who's lived here for all of her life, said this was kind of surprising to her because Doddridge County is a smaller school system. So, they're getting ahead in a lot of things, even being a smaller school system. Also online, we saw that they are offering residents who have a student in Doddridge County schools free Wi-Fi.
That's great.
So I think that Nick is going to learn more about that, what exactly that means.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
What's also notable about this is we saw those assessment rankings I just mentioned. It always went at the top of the rankings, biggest schools to smallest schools, it felt like. Unfortunately, the smaller schools struggle in terms of those proficiency ratings, which is understandable. But Doddridge County was the one anomaly. They were up, inside the top two or three schools in our region, and also they're probably top 5 in the state as well. It's just impressive to see what they've done.
Yeah, so Nick will have more with the superintendent about what they're doing there to help support students and make that possible.
Yeah. So also, Robert is working today. He is in Morgantown. He's at the Tattoo Expo, which is once again returning to the area. It's held twice a year for residents in Morgantown who are tattoo enthusiasts, if you will. It includes hundreds of artists from around the region, so not just West Virginia, I think. I think people come out of state even.
I think so too.
To come to Morgantown to do this. It's pretty cool. to be honest with you, Roxanne, tattoos are not really my thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you have a couple.
I do have a couple tattoos.
Yeah.
Not that you can really see on camera, but
Yeah.
I actually went to the tattoo expo once.
Yeah.
But I was too nervous to get a tattoo there. It's pretty cheap for like just the ticket to get in. But of course you'd have to pay for the tattoo.
Of course,
when
those
you
are
get
probably
it.
expensive.
But I was just really overwhelmed, I think, because I didn't realize that it'd be so many artists, which is the cool thing, you know?
Yeah.
You have like a bunch of artists set up in this big room. I think they do it at the Marriott in Morgantown.
Yeah.
And they have a big like event room that they hold stuff like that.
So my question, since you've been there, you just walk in and it's like you just have booths to choose from,
Yes,
different artists,
it's
and you
like it's kind of like when you're at like a fair or something.
Yeah.
And you have, or like the farmer's market, and there's just like booths set up with like signage, and you know the artists all have their books out so you can see their art style, stuff like that. So you just walk over to whatever artist interests you, and you're like, oh, I want, you know, this, is this available, like, can you do this? And they'll, you know, schedule you in for whatever time they have that day, and depending on how long it takes, you know, and you'll sit down right in the middle of their booth right there, and
in front of everybody,
in
people
front
are
of
just walking by.
everyone.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I mean, you know, if you have it on your arm, they have it, you know, you're just sitting there, them tattooing you, people are walking by watching you get tattooed.
I'm sure the noises are you know, it's constant in there.
I don't remember like being there if it was, well, and like people are talking, so it doesn't sound, you know, it doesn't sound like you're at the dentist and they're like drilling in your teeth or anything, because there's people talking anyway, so it's kind of like it has that general like kind of loudness just from other people talking.
Excuse my innocence, I know nothing about tattoos, to be honest. Like I don't have any, I've never even considered getting one.
Yeah,
it's just,
it was definitely like, it was a little bit overwhelming just because I wasn't sure what to expect at first, but I wish that I had gotten a tattoo there just to be like, you know, look at my cool tattoo that I got at the tattoo expo.
Yeah.
I think they also have like best tattoo contests and
cool.
things like that. They have like a little area for kids where you can do temporary tattoos and stuff. So, and like, even though I didn't get a tattoo, it was cool to just go and see like different artists.
That's
and,
true.
You know, there's a lot of local ones, so a lot of like smaller shops that you might not know about. So it was.
And it's honestly like
cool
an
to
art
see.
form in a way. It's like an art gallery almost. Even if you just don't get a tattoo, it seems like you can just go there and just like view it. That sounds really neat.
Yeah, it was fun to see everyone's different styles, and I think that like, you know, as someone who has gotten not a lot, but a good bit of tattoos, it was cool to go and be like, oh, what artists am I interested in? You know, if I want to get a tattoo in the future.
That's true.
You know, who's close by me or whose art style do I like the best? So it was nice to just kind of window shop in that way, you know, just walk around and see who was doing what and what kind of art style there was. So
they have them twice a year in Morgantown, but there's also lots of other ones around the state. Didn't we mention when there was Huntington?
I know that those are the three that are on their website usually.
Oh, okay.
Two in Morgantown,
I didn't know there was more.
Yeah. I'm not sure if there's more, at least not on the actual Tattoo Expo website as far as I remember.
Cool.
But yeah, the two in Morgantown, they have them twice a year. And Emmeline, who's our digital content producer, she was talking about it and said that the spring one might be more like the artists are more like the traditional tattoo style.
Yeah, she did mention that.
So I don't know if it's like specific styles or the different.
So I guess that would assume that the summer one's a little more explorative, like a little more out there in terms of the art, right?
Or like maybe just different styles and not just the one style. But I think that's going on all of this weekend too.
Yeah,
so
all this weekend.
It's not just today. So Robert's kind of doing you know, here's where this is at today, and also more information about what they're going to be doing this weekend. And
he's going to have all the information about it. Yeah.
Where to go, how to get there, what time it is, when it's running. So both Robert and Nick will have their stuff in the 5 o'clock show tonight. So you can tune in if you're curious about either of those stories. Now let's talk about the first at 4. So like we were talking about with the $1 million that Governor Morrissey is giving back or giving out, it's of course Senior Citizen Day.
Yes.
So the first at 4 is the word on the street today is kind of referencing that or because of that. So on Facebook they asked, how old is your oldest living family member? Do you know off the top of your head?
No, off the top of my head, I mean, I know both of my grandmas are my oldest. Like they would be tied in my mind. I just don't know how old they are
Yeah.
specifically. Like I don't know the exact year. I think my grandma from Parkersburg is older than my grandma from Doddridge County.
Okay.
So that would be like 85. I think she's the oldest
Yeah.
living member of my family that I know of. And yeah, that's the most I can think of. I had my great grandma lived to be like 97, but
Oh,
she
wow.
died when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think my grandma is my oldest. What about you?
Yeah. I think that, so most of my grandparents have already passed on, except for my grandma on my dad's side. She, I believe, is like 82.
Okay. Yeah.
Now I don't remember. She might be older than that. Honestly, she's been the same my entire life.
Yeah.
So I think she was like 77 when I was, or like in her 70s.
Yeah.
And so that's just what I think of her as.
Yes,
like I
me
don't
too.
know actually how old she is.
I'm sorry to my grandparents, but
I
I don't really
know.
track their birthdays all that well.
know.
So it's like
Like I know when her birthday is, but I'm also like, I don't know how old that makes her.
yeah,
So
like you've been old my whole life. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like,
You're
I
kind
just,
of the same age all the time. That's how I
I've
feel
grown
about
up,
my
but I feel like
parents,
you've been the
too.
same. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know she's in her 80s. So
Yeah.
as far as like immediate kind of family goes, she would be the one that's the oldest. But I know that my mom's side especially has a large extended
Mm-hmm.
family. There might be older like great aunts or great uncles than
Yeah.
that, but
That's a good point
I
for my
don't
family,
know
too.
them well, so
Yeah.
or really know who is alive at this point. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I might have older living relatives, but the one that I know for sure is my grandma.
I think I have. Is it called a great cousin, or would it just be like a second? Because it's like my grandma's cousin. Would
Yeah,
that be
I'm not
considered? I don't know what that's
sure.
called, but however that's related to me.
Yeah.
I believe I have one man who's in his 90s in that. In I think I'd have to ask my dad to be
Yeah.
sure, but I think he's in his mid 90s and
Yeah.
he's still kicking it. So
Yeah. What we were talking about today in the newsroom is how many 100-year-old or older birthdays that we cover here.
yeah, we cover a lot.
which is kind of surprising to me. And maybe it's just because I like wasn't working in the news before living here, or it's just something we cover more than maybe other states cover. But there's actually a large population of older individuals and elderly folk who live
Yeah.
here. We cover a lot of 100-year-old birthdays.
Yep.
That's related to the word on the street on our website.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit different than Facebook. It's have any of your relatives lived past 100?
Not that I know of.
I don't
can't
know
think.
either off the top of my head.
Not in my immediate generation, I guess. There might be people way back in
Older.
my family that my dad might
Right.
know, but people that I can think of, no. I don't think anybody's lived past 100. I think my great grandma lived to 97, and I think my cousin, I guess he'd be my cousin. He's like in his mid 90s, but other than that, no
Right.
one's gotten to 100 yet.
Yeah, I really wonder how the percentages will work out for today for
Yeah.
Word on the Street because, like I said, we cover a lot of people who live past 100 here in West Virginia. So I
Yeah.
wonder if, what the yes and no percentages will look like.
I think if just like a probability, like I know this is going to sound really boring, but like a probability standpoint, I feel like just the amount of 100-year-old people versus the amount of people in the entire
Right.
state that might answer our poll, like it might be like 10 or 5% that say yes or less.
But it is just have any of your relatives. So
I guess that casts a little wider net.
Right.
Yeah.
It could be, if your great uncle or whatever lived to 100, you could be like, well, yes, my, great uncle lived until he was 100.
I guess that does cast the net a little wider. I still think it'd be like, if I had to guess by the end of the day, it'll be like 5%. So I want to make sure everybody votes.
I think that probably, just because too, you have to look at the percentage of people who in general live past 100.
Yeah.
Because it's probably smaller than the people who don't. So,
Yeah.
so we'll see how many, but like I said, I think there are a lot of people who are very long lived here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We just ran a story, I think it was last week or maybe the week before, about the 107-year-old, I want to say that she was, that Governor Morrissey went to her birthday.
From West Virginia?
From West Virginia.
Yeah.
She's
Okay, I heard about that. Yeah.
oldest, at least that they know, oldest living resident.
That's crazy.
and
107.
I know.
That's outstanding.
I think her name
that's
was Virginia, and it was
that's ironic.
I know. Virginia and West Virginia. But she, in her little, story that we had about her. You know, she still like does her laundry and like tries to be as independent as possible.
Yeah, that's great.
It's incredible because, like I said in the newsroom, like I have trouble doing my own laundry right now, and I'm 27. So
I mean, I've seen a social media ad as well, kind of on that point about where an alcohol company, I'm not going to mention it by name, but a company interviewed someone that was 101, and like it's impressive how many of these people over 100 years old like have so much function. I don't mean that as like a slight towards anybody. It just like it's just impressive that like over 100 years old and they're still
right.
doing things for themselves, speaking well, talking. It's really impressive. And
Yeah.
and that 107-year-old was really neat. I did see that story. Yeah.
It's pretty incredible, I think, to live that long and
It is
still,
incredible.
and be able to do your own laundry.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, that was just like so not surprising, but just like it's so like wonderful to see
Yeah.
that, like a really
Yeah.
inspiring thing to see.
Like my grandma, she's been alive since the World War II, like since
Yeah.
before it started, she's been alive. So imagine like some of these 100-old people, what they've seen.
Right.
They were alive for World War I as well, I'm sure, and how much the country has changed in that
Right.
time. It's just incredible, like you said.
And I want to like how much West Virginia has changed.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine how much West Virginia's changed. They peaked back when those 100-year-old people were probably kids or
Yes.
maybe young adults, but
I know. It's probably still just as beautiful, though.
oh,
That's probably one
absolutely,
thing that never
yes.
changed.
No, that
for
never
West
has changed,
Virginia.
I'm sure.
It's probably a good place to retire, I think.
I think
you
it
just
would
look
be.
out the window and it's like beautiful every single day.
Yeah, it's awesome, especially during the fall, like we talked about earlier
Yes,
this week. so.
exactly. So if you want to vote on Word on the Street or tell us about your oldest living family member, you still have time to do that. So make sure to check our Facebook
Mm-hmm.
page, check our website. Also on the First at 4 today, you may have seen Holly and Vince, and then Onovan and I talked about it yesterday about they were sent a racetrack. Holly and Vince were.
Really fun, by the way. I played with it.
Really?
Yes, I felt like a kid again for 15 seconds or
Yes.
however long it was.
I don't know if we're going to keep it in the news station, but I think it'd be a little bit of a distraction.
It would
if
be.
if we kept
I'm
it.
taking my lunch break, Roxanne. I'm going to go play with the
Yeah.
RC cars
I'm
for an
doing
hour.
a really important project right now.
Yeah.
But it's for the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. It's an IndyCar race. Holly told me that it's the first ever race that's like this. And I know President Trump is planning on attending.
Oh,
And
wow. I didn't hear about that.
yeah, they've been teasing this, I think, in the First at 4 a lot this
Wow.
week. I think you guys saw kind of a behind the scenes setting it up yesterday. And so today, Holly and Vince are racing, and we'll see who wins. I think they might have said something about like the loser gets a punishment or the winner gets a prize or something like that.
The punishment
so-
is that Vince, or whoever, sorry, not spoiling anything.
I was gonna say Vince.
Vince or Holly, either one, not spoiling anything. They have not done it yet. So one of them has to stay silent for the rest of the show. That's a punishment.
The rest of the show.
The rest of the show.
It should be the rest of the year.
Oh, that would be
That'd
too
be kind
much.
of hard.
That'd be
Yeah,
impossible.
I think that'd be hard as a host.
How would you go to the drive-through?
Oh, true. I
The
mean,
bank.
There's people who learn sign language. That'd be cool, I think.
We're getting way off
I know.
in terms of punishments. Like
I
that,
know.
it's probably just gonna be like, oh, you lose one baloney or believe it question next
Right.
week or something.
Yes, you
I don't
have
know.
I was gonna say you have to walk the dogs, but I forgot they don't have dogs anymore. Oh no.
You have to take out the trash, Holly.
Right,
like-
you have to take out the trash one more day this week or something.
Yeah, we're going way over
I
proportion.
know. We'll see. We'll see what they have planned. They were tossing around a couple of different.
They haven't told us much about it
things.
though. So
Yeah.
in terms of punishment,
I know,
you have to
I'm-
tune in to see.
I'm really curious to see that, and I think it's going to be really fun. So,
Yeah.
if you want to see who wins that
Mm-hmm.
race, you can tune in the First at 4 today.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's all we have for you guys for the daily rundown.
Yep.
But make sure to tune in the First at 4 again. Vote and comment on Word on the Street. You still have time to do that. And then tune into our evening broadcast tonight for more about our top headlines, more
Mm-hmm.
about what our reporters are working on. But that's all we have for you guys today. Have an amazing Friday and weekend. Maybe we'll see some of you at the Tattoo Expo this weekend.
Yeah, maybe.
But that's all we have for you guys. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you later.